you've got your own event coming up in July that you guys do every year, the Family Leadership Summit, right?
Yeah, the Leadership Summit, as you well know, I mean, it's become kind of an entity unto itself. I mean, it's the biggest thing in the state of Iowa in July, on July 11. But it's also become a real gathering all across the Midwest and even more so across the country of people coming into the Leadership Summit to see where does biblical leadership, biblical training, biblical worldview, how does that intersect with real life leadership application? In your audience, remember, we've had people like Tucker Carlson, we've had Donald Trump, we've had Tony Evans, we've had everybody in between. All the big of the bigs have been at the Leadership Summit. And probably one of the biggest things that happens, Steve, at the Leadership Summit, it's going to happen at Last Stand as well, I assure you. People are going to gather, and the thing they're going to leave with is, we are not alone. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes the mainstream media, what they want to do is they want to cast you as you're just an outlier. Nobody thinks like you anymore. You're just the weird one. And to find out, you know what, we're not alone. And there is such a thing as truth and right and wrong. There is such a thing as a nuclear family and what God honors and what God favors. And there's things that God doesn't honor and he doesn't favor, nor should he. So, yeah, we're very excited about the Leadership Summit, July 11 coming up in just about 2 months. We're excited for that. So
you guys have just confirmed your first headline speaker for this event, right?
Yeah, we've actually confirmed a couple, but there's one that we actually can come out and say publicly now. But somebody that's like a little sister to you and me.
Yeah.
Somebody that we hung out with a lot back in the 2007, 2008 days, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And Steve, I got to tell you, if there was one speaker that I wanted to secure, it was Sarah Huckabee Sanders. One, it's a real God story. She always just wanted to be behind the scenes, propping up a guy like Steve or propping up a guy like me or propping up her dad. Mm-hmm. She wanted to be just a campaign operative. She didn't want to be out in the public eye. And all of a sudden, Trump, in the 2015-2016 cycle, I think it was 2016, I think he was ready the nominee, but they needed to have a female on CNN representing the Trump campaign. And everybody was taken there. He had a lot of different bookings. You know how that goes. Mm-hmm. They said, well, let's put Sarah out there. And so Sarah does a CNN hit, and Trump is like, she's really good. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, she gets in the White House Communications Department. She's under Sean Spicer. Everybody knows what happens with Sean Spicer and Trump, and pretty soon Sarah is up there. And the whole country falls in love with her. I shouldn't say the whole country. The people who believe like we do fall in love with her, and other people are taking real pot shots at her to where she needs her own security detail. Then she leaves to go home to focus on her family. She goes home to focus on her family in Arkansas, and the people of Arkansas start telling her, you need to run for governor. And now she's the governor of Arkansas, and she is leading the country in church-government partnership to break bondage to meet community needs in the state of Arkansas. It's something that every state should replicate, and I just love it that she's coming back to Iowa to a base that loves her dad. This is going to be a great welcome home for Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And
it also means that you and I are officially old, brother. It also means that. It also means that.
I'm okay to be an official older brother. The chick who got us
coffee and donuts is now here to address us as the governor of her state. We are old, bro. We're just old now.
Not just the governor of Arkansas. I mean, anybody with any kind of a glimpse into the future. I mean, that's not her. She's not.
Sure, this is going to spark 28. Yeah. And she's smart to come here. Listen, I love Sarah to death, but she is smart to come here and immediately stake her claim to be J.D. Vance's running mate in 2028. All right, get out ahead of, because that's all we're having is a running mate sweepstake. All right, so get out ahead of the rest of the prospective field, right, and demonstrate that that she would be a good complement to J.D. in the GOP 2028 primary.
Here's what I love about. There's so much I love about Sarah, but here's what I really love about Sarah. She wasn't looking to be the White House press secretary. God created the way for her to be a White House press secretary. She wasn't looking to be governor of Arkansas. God created a way for her to be governor of Arkansas. She's not looking for something beyond governor of Arkansas, but it'd be just like God to create a path for her to do something above and beyond Arkansas. I just think she's threaded with the right stuff. She's leading with the right stuff. She's bold and courageous, but with a compassionate voice. It's really showing how Republicans can win in the future.
I agree. She's been a superstar since she got
So
that
we're
gig.
thrilled to have her. And I'd tell your audience, keep July 11 open on your calendar, either to tune in with a live stream, but also to be in person. We're going to have a lot more announcements that you're going to be very, very excited about.
All right, let's get to some of the news of the day. And the bombing of this Palm Springs fertility clinic over the weekend, the manifesto. Now, these are the kinds of things that under the old FBI, we may never have seen this manifesto.
Exactly.
Okay. And if we were, it was not going to be as immediate as we have received this one. Okay?
Remember the trans student in Tennessee?
Yes.
Who shot up the school?
It took years. I think Steven Crowder, wasn't he actually one of the people that finally broke through to make sure that got into the public?
And
I think
also we take down all the social media. Nobody can research this stuff.
Yeah. So there's a different level of transparency already.
Yep.
Immediately calling it a terrorist attack. I saw that report when I was at the gym this morning. And the manifesto clearly demonstrates that the murderer had every intent of making a worldview statement here. And terms like mortalist. I mean, I don't even know who talks like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, of course, the great irony of this is within our circles, on our side, IVF is a very hotly debated topic on our side right now. Okay.
You bet.
But this just goes to show, because the debate on our side is over whether this is the best method of pursuing the cause of life or not. He's not even interested in any form of that kind of nuance. From his worldview, you're just talking straight nihilism, and anything at all that even remotely smacks, even if it has some problematic undercurrents to it, but anything at all that would remotely smack of the pursuit of life is something that is anathema to his demonic worldview, and he put that all in writing for us. And frankly, it's not any different than it's just the language and the actions are more extreme, but at the heart of what you hear from Yuval Harari over there at the World Economic Forum or any of today's abortionists, the fundamental premise of the worldview is the exact same thing.
And the reason I wanted to bring this up, Steve, is I thought there can't be a clear depiction or picture of what is the battle that we're fighting today. This is spiritual warfare. This is a culture of life versus a culture of death. This is John 10:10, where Jesus says, listen, Satan comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And that's what this guy bought into. So when you said, I don't even know who talks like this, well, we don't hang out with those people, right? Well, we're not in small groups with those people. But he talks like that. Steal, kill, destroy. This life isn't worth living. I'll blow myself up and I'll kill other people in the process and make sure I make a statement on my way out. That's why we live in unprecedented prosperity. We're running away with the world's wealth right now. And there's not even a close second. And yet suicide rates are through the roof because Satan comes to kill, steal, destroy. And that's what you saw in Palm Springs. And Jesus says, but listen, I come to give life and I come to give it abundantly. So that for those of us, those who are with the Steve Day Show, those of us with the family leader, those of us who share this type of worldview, communicate God's gift of life. There is an opportunity to embrace life and embrace anew and embrace in all of its abundance right now. And what you're seeing here, it's a culture of death. What you're seeing here is a culture of life. And we want to always be on the side of advocating for a culture of life.
And of course, life and the perpetuation of the family are intertwined together.
Oh, without question.
And so, another thing that happened over the weekend is Hillary Clinton came out to speak again for reasons, but she has been a gift for our side. Now that she no longer is interested in trying to get anybody's votes, she is now just removed any veneer of Barbara Streisand BS whatsoever.
Let me tell you who I really am.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're just letting the freak flag fly. Okay. Yeah. And she, openly, we had this clip in Aaron in your montage as well. Just an open disdain for the ideology of the nuclear family and things of this nature, for wanting to have more children in the culture. Okay. Just an open a complete and total disdain. And just like Joe Biden did not just find out he had the most arguably the most detectable form of male cancer over the weekend, despite having the best healthcare on planet Earth up until 4 months ago for the last 5 years. Okay. Yeah. Just like he didn't just find that out. Okay. Right.
And this is something that they diagnose us with all the time. They assess us all the time.
Yes. In our age group, we're doing these PSA tests every single year. All right. And so just like that didn't just happen. Okay. Hillary Clinton did not just have these views. All right. This is what she has thought the entire time. And this is the worldview of the other side. What's happened here is both because they think they have a certain amount of hegemony, and then on the other hand, because they've been so cornered politically, they've largely given up on the code language that was so prevalent when I first broke into doing this for a living. And when you first, formed an organization like this or first ran for office, we'd have to decipher for voters or audiences code words of what these things really meant, right? Mm-hmm. Now they don't speak in code at all. Now we're just letting it hang. We're just telling everybody straight up, we're opening our mouth, forked tongue comes forth, and doctrines of demons are spewed. And so that you can see that in the disdain for the nuclear family.
Without question. And I think what it is, it goes to, again, the Palm Spring bomber. God creates life, so therefore Satan says, I want to crush life. Mm-hmm. God's first institution is the family. I want to make sure that I dismantle that thing at all cost. And when we're taking a look at it, we just got done with our legislative session here, Steve. And so much of the stuff that we deal with is just the ripple effect of the breakdown of the nuclear family. Why you have a growing Health and Human Services department. If you're ever going to slow down that growth, you need to get back to the nuclear family. Matter of fact, the abortion statistic, 86% of abortions that are happening today is because it's to single women. It's a man is not a part of their life anymore. Mm-hmm. You take a look at how do you have success? If any of you are raising kids out there, how do you have success? Have your child graduate high school, have them at least get a job, get married, and then have kids in that order, and you have a 2% chance.
That's amazing.
Of being in the poverty level. 2% chance. You just do those things in order. And the nuclear family, we're coming back to it now. I mean, because everything is, I don't care what it is, it's because of the breakdown of the nuclear family. Meaning a mom and a dad committed to each other for life with Christ as their center, raising kids, discipling kids. When that happens, you don't need the kind of government that we're putting on people today. So what it is, Satan says, I am going to destroy that nuclear family. Hillary Clinton's going to be, I'm going to destroy that nuclear family. I don't want you to have kids, but when you do have kids, I want to make them my kids. Guys, this is not that complicated, but we need to get back to embracing and communicating and advocating for a mom and a dad raising kids and being in church on Sunday.